Thank you for joining us for Small Town Big Business, a podcast about doing big business in small town rural America. I'm Jennifer Olson, Director of Business Development for the City of Marion.
And I'm Russell Williams. I'm Director of EThOs. We're a small business incubator, co-working spaces, training and development for entrepreneurs here in downtown Marion, Illinois. I want to thank you for joining us and thank our sponsors for producing the Small Town Big Business podcast. Thank you to Arcadia Wealth Group, Black Diamond Harley-Davidson and RV, Fowler Heating and Cooling, Swinford Media Group, the Watermark Auto Group Foundation, Banterra Bank, and also Southern Illinois Now.
We're so glad you found us. We are on a number of podcast apps, be it Podbean, Spotify, Apple, you name it, we are there. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss a single episode. And if you want the video version, we are on YouTube.
Yeah, can I introduce our guest today? Because I've known our guest for a long time, our friend. So Karina Neill from Karina Neill Photography is here to join us. Thanks for coming up the steps.
Thank you so much for having me here.
You almost stopped at the middle level. You're like, this is the second floor. And I'm like, no, this is the mezzanine.
Yes.
But you've been here before.
Yes, I've been here several times.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I own a small studio boutique here in downtown. I do a lot of work in the studio. I do also outdoors, but I'm a photographer for businesses and families. So each group has different sessions for families. I help families with newborns, with maternity sessions, with kids' portraits, families' portraits, high school seniors, also boudoir, and pets. And on the business side, I help businesses with content for branding, headshots, products, group pictures, behind the scenes. That's how I help businesses create content for social media, website, billboards, print, magazines, TV, everything they need.
Awesome. Great. And how did you get here?
To Southern Illinois?
Well, I mean, maybe that's part of the story, but
Yes.
has photography always been a passion, or is it something that developed later?
Well, I did photography way back when we used to have the film little cameras, that little one that you had to put the film and take it to get developed. Yeah. And then you would get like pictures with the closed eyes and everything. And yes and no, yes and no. And then move into the point and shoot cameras, the digitals. Oh boy, I still have my collection of cameras that I went through the year, and I was not a photographer yet. I just love to travel. So I started with travel pictures, and then my daughter was born 21 years ago.
Yeah.
So I got more serious about documenting her life, like newborns and kids and school and all that stuff, because I don't have a newborn picture of myself. I have a printed picture where it's my grandma, my mom, and my sister. And there's something wrapped in my mom and my sister's arm. It's like a little blanket. In my family says that's me inside that wrap. So you can't see my face. You can see, that's the only picture I have from a newborn stage. And I have one picture. I think I was 5 years old when my mom went to a baptism. And there was a photographer there. It was by the river, so I'm running around by the river with a dirty dress with sand and everything, barefoot. But I adore that picture. That's the only picture I have when I was about 5 years old. So those are my two memories that I have from my childhood. And that motivated me to create memories for my daughter. I said, no, I want to have more memories of my daughter. When I'm not here, I want my daughter to see and know how she looked like when she was a baby. So that took me, to the step that I want to photograph my daughter and document for her. And then by my career path, because I studied business administration, I started working for a Canadian mining company, and I was the head of community relations and public relations. So I was doing a lot of photography, mostly documentary. I didn't know what photography I was doing, but it was documentary photography now that I study photography. And I was creating content for the investors, for the press, for the website, whatever we needed for the company, for brochures, flyers, and everything. And I worked for that company for about 8 years. So I did a lot of photography. I was like creating everything, also creating portraits and everything. Very amateur, but I was doing that. And yeah, so I've done a lot of photography before I decided to study photography. So I'm originally from Peru. I was born and raised there. And my first trip to the US actually was in 2010 when I went to San Francisco and I got a 2 days visa for a mining conference. Of course, I went to look for investors because that conference, I don't know if it still exists. It's called Hard Assets. It's held in San Francisco, and it brings people from the mining industry from all over the world, and it's a good opportunity, for people in the industry to look for investors. So it was a fun experience. After 2 days, went back to Peru, and then came back again to the U.S. in 2011 for an environmental care conference. It was in Orlando. That was fun. So after the conference, I was able to visit Disney for the first time. That was fun. So after that, back then I already had a boyfriend, my husband now. We were dating for 6 years and we got engaged in 2012. And with the second visa, I got a 10 years visa. So it was a business visa and also a tourism visa. I'm so thankful because usually they give you one type of visa, but I was so thankful that they gave me two types of visa. And with that, I used to travel to the US. So I was 2 weeks here, going back to work 2 weeks, and so on for about 2 years. Usually, we used to live in New York. So my boyfriend back then, husband now, used to live in New York. So I would visit him. I was mostly in New York. And then finally, when I got married in 2013, moved to New York. And then my husband had to do some studies, and we moved to Indiana. He did the studies in Indiana University. And we moved to Indiana. I really loved it. Moving from New York to the Midwest, I loved it. It kind of made me feel home because it's a slow-paced type of life. It's different. And I loved it. And then we moved to Florida. And we came back to the Midwest again. And that's when we ended up in Southern Illinois. Because I love Florida to visit and go to the beaches and everything, but not to live. There were a few things that I didn't like. So that's a conversation for another story. But I told my husband, I don't want to go back to New York. I love the Midwest. Let's go back to the Midwest. And we came back here. So my husband interviewed for SIH, and we came to do the sightseeing, and it was beautiful. It reminds me my small town in Peru because I was born in the Amazon area, and we have a lot of trees and water. Well, we have the Huallaga River that goes to the Amazon River. But we didn't have a river here that I see, but I saw the lake and the water, and I said, I love this. And I told my husband, I love this because we had the opportunity to visit Memphis, some other place in Tennessee. The options were New Jersey, Tennessee, Indiana, Illinois, and Florida too, because they wanted to keep my husband in Florida. But we said, I love Southern Illinois. Let's go there. And we gave it a try. So we moved here in 2016. And it was hard for me to go back to the administration field. I tried to apply for different jobs.
Did you work in those other locations?
No, because
Indiana? No.
Well, what I did at the beginning, I opened a small business making baby clothing, baby designs. So I had an online shop on Etsy to keep me busy because I was used to working every day, and then suddenly I didn't have a job here, and I opened a small business. So I was working on that. But I also like to, try new industries. And I worked at Publix in Florida in a supermarket and customer service. It was a great experience for me to learn about all the government cards, the WIC and EBT, I think so. And I work also at a gourmet customer service supermarket in New York, Uncle Giuseppe. It's based for all Italian. It's like an Italian gourmet supermarket. Yeah, I love that stage. But when I came here, said, it's small town, probably less resources. What I'm going to do here? And I ended up receiving the John and Logan brochure with a lot of classes. And they were painting. I love painting. I went to art school and I love painting, oil, acrylic, everything. I went in Peru. And I said, oh my gosh, I should go to classes and keep painting and make new friends. So I went to to take art classes. And also, when I got the magazine, there was also photography classes. Oh, I want to do that. I love photography. We're going to make friends. I went there, but I didn't have a DSLR because the ad said you need to have a DSLR for the photography classes. I only had one of my point and shoot Sony Sync Pink One Q1, and I texted the instructor, and not emailed the instructor, and say, hey, I want to take your classes, but I don't have a DSLR. I only have my point and shoot. Would that be enough? Do I qualify for your classes? He said, of course, just come, we'll go from there. An amazing teacher. I always thank him. His name is Chris Killman. He's a true artist. He's a painter. He's an amazing teacher. And he is the one who actually started my photography path to the professional level. But he's focused mostly on landscape and wildlife photography. He's amazing on that.
Have you always enjoyed working with people? Because creatives can be very creative, but not necessarily enjoy working with people. But it sounds like your background, you had an opportunity to...
Yes. I used to manage like 500 people, 1,000 people in meetings and things like that to get agreements. So I love interacting with people. And I loved my photography classes, going out there, shooting birds and landscape. And it was good for a hobby. And so but then we started doing the projects, because we needed to submit the projects, and I started photographing people. And that made me feel good because I was photographing my daughter for a long time. And I said, this is what I love. I don't want to be a landscape photographer. I don't want to be a wildlife photographer. I want to be a people photographer. And from there, because, they have it's like a basics, probably intermediate, beginner photographers. And I had to look for more sources for me to keep growing as a professional photographer. And I enrolled myself in the Institute of Photography from New York. So that's where I finished my 2-year program for photography, and also another program to specialize on portraits, photographing people. That, shaped up my path to photograph people. And that's how I continue there. And then, and when you start in that path of professional photography, and you encounter the institutions in the country that you can go for help and development. And I ended up joining the PPA, which stands for Professional Photographers of America. It's an amazing organization. It's actually, I think, the largest in the world. It has over probably 30,000 members from more than 50 countries. And it's created for photographers and run by photographers. So there's always new classes, new things. And everything is changing in photography. Even now, we have the mirrorless cameras. We don't have the lithium battery, which is different because you don't need to connect your strobes, your lights on the wall. You just put your lithium battery, and you can go outdoors, you can go whatever you want, and even put it in water with a stand, and you're good to go. But it's changing. So that institution helps me to keep growing for sure.
So as the industry evolves, what's the good side of that, and what's the downside?
The good side, I would say, is that I keep creating memories, so that won't change. Because for me, pausing and freezing time of a special moment, that's my big mission for me. The other side would be the digital part, that people are just relying on more digital things that can disappear in one click, or not even one click, it just disappears, than actually preserving their memories, like in prints or albums or something printed that you can have physically. I have 2 pieces of printed things that I keep from many years ago. I don't know where the digitals are. But I do have those things. They're all looking one, but I know those are mine. So that would be, how it's evolving. And now with artificial intelligence, people are creating their headshots that they don't even look like them. They look like super edited, like fake. Why? We have to learn to embrace ourselves with our flaws and everything. We are perfect. I mean, one of the mentors say, we are imperfectly perfect. Because we are unique. We have to embrace to love our eyes, our smile, our hair, our freckles, our double chin. What the heck? Just embrace them. Because we are changing. We are changing. You have a time in life where you are beautiful and youthful and everything, but then it's nature. We gotta change. Just embrace them. Just be happy.
Yeah. Well, I'll work on that double check.
I can retouch it a little bit. I can pose you because there are ways of posing clients with double chin, and we definitely eliminate that. It's everything about the angle. If I create a portrait of you or whoever with double chin from a lower angle, the first thing that I'm gonna emphasize is like the turkey neck and the double chin. Photographers don't do that, especially the beginners. The pro, they know they shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I know you won some national and international awards. Can you talk about those?
Oh my gosh, yes. It makes me very happy because as a professional photographer, you need to keep growing. You have to keep improving. And for me, participating in competitions, it's a big opportunity to see where I can improve and why I didn't get the gold or why I didn't get the silver, why I got the bronze. It's actually amazing. I started participating in competitions back in 2020. I had a chance to participate in 2019, but you have this syndrome like, oh, I'm not good enough. I shouldn't do it because how about if I look bad? And that's what happened to me in 2019. I didn't want to do it. But in 2020, I said, what the heck? I'm just going to do it. I need this. I need to know where I am so I can keep improving, even if I don't get anything. I participated in Portrait Masters. That's an amazing group. They have high-class professional photographers, like big in the industry, and they're really good judges. They will tell you straight what's wrong with your image, what you need to improve, and everything. I was afraid, but when I actually passed the points of a professional and actually got an award and said, oh my gosh, but still had things to improve. I have won about over 50 awards now since 2020. And the latest one that I participated was in New York. I competed in the professional photographers in the group of New York. And I got 2 silver awards. I love them because I can't touch them. They're like a Wonder Woman. It's so pretty. Come to my studio and see them. I need to post pictures about that. And they're like this tall, and my name on the front, and it has like a Wonder Woman statue, it's silver color. And I look at them and I said, I can keep working. This is what makes me happy. I can be better because I am getting better because of my clients. They give me the opportunity to create their portraits. They come to my studio with a vision. Karina, I'm thinking about this and that. Let's do it. I love the fact that my clients come with a vision and I help them create that and we make that reality. Because by the time they leave my studio, they are not living with an idea. They are living with a record of a print or an album, their idea that came to reality. And so that for me is very rewarding. It's actually another award on top of my other awards, for sure.
Love that. And I like to, it's so easy to say, I want pictures that look like these other pictures. But I love the creativity of like working through a concept so that the person ends up with a product that they're proud of.
Right.
So I feel like some of our early interactions of me getting to know you were through your charitable work. And I see you everywhere being generous, doing photography for events so that, when folks bother to get all dressed up, they like to have that moment captured. It doesn't happen all the time. So thank you for that, first of all. And second, what are some of your favorite events or favorite charities in the area that you've worked with?
Yes, I absolutely love giving back in my community. I love the South Illinois area, and it's a giving community comparing to New York or the big cities where I lived. I found in South Illinois this beautiful giving heart that you don't find anywhere else. And for me, being part of giving back and collaborating with organizations that do fundraising, it makes me happy. It's a good opportunity for me to go there and meet people and help. I think the biggest or the organizations that I like collaborating with is SIH. They do their beautiful gala. People dress up and there's silent auction and for a good cause, because we are thankful to have a nice hospital here, have a few hospitals and we don't have to go to the city all the time. So supporting them now with the cancer center, it's like in Peru, right now I'm dealing with my brother-in-law who has cancer. He has to go all the way to the city to get treated. We are lucky to have the cancer center. So anything that, that can help something local, for. I also supported the Boys and Girls Club of Southern Illinois. They work on youth and hopefully they come back. That's an amazing organization because our youth is our future. And anything that we can do to help them get educated, to get out there and do activities and not being on the screen, on the cell phone, or let's do that. Let's help that. And the other things in my list would be the organizations that support abandoned dogs. Mm-hmm. I love dogs. I'm an animal person. I love cats, dogs, but no snakes. And no, I'm sorry, no. But dogs, yes. So I just finished a project called Pit and Pines. The beer company. Big Muddy Brewing Company, they organized that event and they reached out and said, Karina, what do you think? I said, let's do it. If dogs are involved and St. Francis is involved, it's a big yes for me. And it was amazing just having all these people coming to the event, with their one-handed dog, one-eyed dog, dogs that need help, help because those are rescue dogs. Yeah. The dog parents are struggling, but they love. You can see the love. Also, like lucky dogs, like breed dogs and very nice and bow ties and everything. Coming all these group of people with the dogs for a good cause and enjoying a beer, Big Muddy. It was beautiful. It made my heart so happy. And all the portraits that we created, it was not like, I don't like saying cheese in the camera. That's my no. I don't like cheese. I want interaction. I want emotion. I want your dog giving you that big kiss because that happens and hugging your dogs and just squeezing when you arrive from work and you squeeze your dog, say, hey, hi. I talk to my dogs. I don't know if you guys talk to your dogs, but I talk to my dogs all the time. I want that. So we were able to create that beautiful interaction. The portraits are beautiful. And actually, I said, okay, it's a 4 hours event. Probably if I am able to raise $100 per hour, so $400 can buy some food for the dogs, some beds, something. But it went over that. We actually were able to raise $1,000. Wow. So it was above my expectation. And I'm so thankful to everybody who participated there. It just makes you happy. Yeah. That's seriously. And the other galas that I participated, the Child Advocacy, the Harrisburg Medical Center, the Cancer Society also. I think they do galas. I used to help the Women's Club too. The Herring Women's Club. They do great work in the community, and they also put their murder mystery gala every year. It's amazing. And there's some, oh my gosh, I forgot the Boys and Girls Club of Southern Illinois. So many places just remind me of what other places I've been.
Well, our best family photos are Christmas photos that Karina has taken. Yeah. And the best person in the photos is our dog Truman, our golden retriever. He turned out really well.
He's a sweet dog.
And you have patience, right? You have a lot of patience with
if you
dogs.
Are a family photographer, I think patience has to be one of your strengths, because it's with kids, they're just being kids. They want to run and things, and you need to have patience for that moment to capture.
Parents have anxiety.
To capture the perfect shot.
Yeah.
Newborns, the same thing. The newborns, you cry, you have to change diaper, you have to feed them, you have to burp them. So patience is involved in all the sessions. With animals, they're just being themselves. They're jumping and they want to bark, they want to run, they want to pull. So that waiting is the key to get the nice portrait. Yeah. But I really love portraits with their dogs because it makes the whole thing more special.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. When I print those big canvases of the dog, with the owners, I say, oh my gosh, that is a member of the family. Yeah. That dog is a member of the family. Deserves to be on the big canvases hanging on the wall, of course. For sure, yeah.
Well, back to service, Rotary Club is a big part of your life. Yes. Can you promote Rotary Club? Because I think Rotary Club can be promoted, yes.
Yes. I was new to the community, 2016. I don't have biological family here. And I was introduced to Rotary by a good friend of mine, Dr. Garrido. And I never heard about Rotary before, not even Peru, not even traveling or anything. And I said, sure, I couldn't go like the first 2 times that he invited me, and then I gave it a try and I loved it. I found in Rotary a second family for me. I admire their giving hearts. I mean, they are, Rotary is a group of super busy people. They are professionals, they're business owners, they're leaders in the community. They're busy, but their time that they give to the community for service and doing things for other, for me, that is priceless. And I loved the vibe there. I loved it, the behavior of the members, how they treat you friendly and making you feel welcome. I said, I love this place. I want to keep coming here. And I joined Rotary in 2017. And I think after a year, I became the chair of international committee. And I said, oh, okay, I'm the only international here, I guess. Sure. And we did a fundraiser for water wells to the Marion medical mission, right? So so we helped them during the pandemic. We were able to raise money, like about 4,000 or something, for 10 water wells for Africa. We did some projects in Colombia. We helped a school that lost their lab. It was a school for high IQ kids, and it lost their labs. They needed to replace the computers and everything. We helped them. We partnered with the Rotary Club from Colombia in the district and a national grant. So it was a great project. They do a lot of international projects. And after that, I was asked to be the youth exchange officer. That's a whole different thing. I'm also international, but youth exchange officer deals more with helping exchange students to come to the country, or also send to different countries. We send kids from Carabel to Chile and in Germany. The last kids we sent, we are trying to recruit more kids to send this year. It's a great opportunity. Rotary Exchange Student Program is, I think, it's the more affordable out there, and people really care because we create a bubble for, protected bubble for the students that go there. Everybody that participates there, they have to pass through a police background check, even the families that host the volunteers that are in the program. So it's a great program. And I've been helping with that. We just sent a student that we had in Carterville for 1 year. She just went back yesterday to Denmark. And she had a great time. She enjoyed the community. She went back, singing country music. She loves country music now. And she enjoyed a lot of her time here. And now I am the new president of the club for this year, 2024-2025. And it's an honor for me to be their president. It's an amazing group of people. And just working with them, it's amazing. We are people of action. We get a project, we do the fundraisers, we execute them, and we see results. I love working for them. They motivate me to do things for sure.
And that's the Carterville Club?
Yeah, this is the Rotary Carterville Club. We meet at a golf course in Carterville at the restaurant Turner's Table.
Yeah.
That corner, that's our little corner. We're thankful to our restaurant for letting us meet there every Wednesday at 7:30 in the morning.
That's awesome.
So I hear not-for-profit, I hear joining a club. What other guidance would you give for somebody who's new to Southern Illinois?
Southern Illinois is beautiful. I love the people, as I said. I also like the surrounding areas. We have a lot of things to go to and have fun. I love Rendleman Farms. That's my favorite, with the flowers and the peaches and the animals. I love going to the Garden of the Gods. You can go walk there and have beautiful portraits. I use that space for portraits myself. Giant City, have that beautiful place and the best chicken in the area. I think that's for sure. Awesome. And I love the outdoor area for portraits too. We have the Cannon Park, a beautiful area. We have the essentials, I would say, to live peacefully, especially in a slow pace type of life, away from the city. But you have the essentials, you have nice restaurants. I like Flame. Flame is one of my restaurants in Carbondale. Montgomery just opened in Carterville, and it's so good. The Downtown Dip ice cream shop, I love that shop. There are so many antique stores. I love going antique stores. As part of my collection of props, I have a lot of antique pieces. I have like an old soul, so I have that part that I can include in my sessions. I love the whole community, the events that are going on in the area. Like Marion Connects is doing like a lot of things. Mm-hmm. Each community has like Carterville Connected, Carbondale Connected. They promote different activities for different things, like for kids and seniors. Like I saw the yoga with goats. Like, oh my gosh, I want to try that.
Yeah, I showed up. I thought it was goat yogurt,
Yes.
but it wasn't yogurt. It was, I was mistaken.
So it's a great community. It's small. Maybe it's limited resources, but you can live well. If you want to travel, 3 hours Nashville, do so many things in Nashville. 2 hours to St. Louis, so many things to do there. You can go to Cape, Indiana. I go all the way to Indianapolis because I live there. In 4 hours, you're in Indianapolis, shows and everything. So it's comparing, because when we used to live in New York, in Long Island, just to go to the airport, it would take us 2 hours. So 2 hours here, I can be in St. Louis having fun, enjoying some other restaurants and shows in the airport. Yeah. So I think it's a great area.
What would you tell somebody who has a passion and they're kind of on the fence about trying to make it a business?
You have to probably do your market research to see, to know if, you have an audience, you have a market to offer your services or your products. And it helps you avoid mistakes too. But if you really, really have the passion to do something, it's not easy, but it can be possible. It requires a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's not just you open your store or your service and clients are going to be calling and lining up. No, it's a process. You have to work on different aspects. So just make sure that it's going to take you more than 9 to 5 type of job. If you have one, it's more like 24/7. So the commitment and the time, that's what you have to consider. And looking about and balancing between that, and also do your research really hard, what you're going to offer, so you can have actually a nice business plan. It's like your roadmap, what to do, how you're going to create money, and then your financial part and everything. I would also say, if you have the passion, you have to keep going. You have to listen to your heart. If you know that that's what makes you happy, you can do it. And you cannot work alone. You need to find help. Because especially in the early stage, we think we're going to do everything. We get overwhelmed. So if you can find mentors that already did the things that you want to do, that's going to help you. That's going to help you like a shortcut, because they already made the mistakes that you don't want to do. And they're going to also make you accountable for your actions and kind of push you and help you accomplish your goals. So looking for mentors, it's very important for people that are going out there and be able to adapt, for sure. It's hard because, as I said, the business is changing, especially for a small town. We have challenges that I faced. One of them in 2020, because I opened my first studio in 2019 in Marion, but then it was small. So I started small, but then it was just too small, and I moved to a new studio, a bigger one. So I had like 3 shooting areas comparing to one, actually like 4 now, plus my newborn room. So I moved there. I signed the lease, and by December, I started remodeling the studio in January 2020. You know what happened after that?
Yes.
My grand opening was supposed to be in March 30th, 2020. My big sign, grand opening, March 30th. It never happened because the pandemic started, shut down. So in the small towns, when we have that type of change in the economy, it's a little bit harder. So you need to have backup plans how to overcome that. And for me, I was so thankful that I had emergency money that I saved. So that was enough for me to cover my monthly rent payments, because I was stuck to a 3 years plus lease, and I had to pay that, and there were no clients coming because it was closed. But it gave me, time to prepare for competitions, because I started competing in 2020. So you need to have a backup plan for that. And also, the small town market, it's the client base is small, so you need to find ways to go beyond like other states or other towns around, and how you're going to get there. Think about your marketing. How you're going to get through your billboards? Are you going to get through television advertisement? Are you going to get through radio? Are you going to get through social media? If you're starting, social media is like the most affordable option that you have. And then when your business grows, you can do TV, radio, and all the things. So think about those things too, how to expand, because that's one of the challenges and that you find when you're starting, and also could be also the saturation. The saturation because some other people are offering something similar than what you're offering, and what you're gonna find is that the competition, they're gonna beat you by price. But if you're competing by price, I don't like that race. I don't like the price race competition. So I think you have to focus more on how you can offer better things, how to focus on a good experience and a good product, and so your clients are happy, and that itself creates a whole word of mouth source of new clients coming for you. So those things to consider when you starting, I think, a new business.
So Karina, what is your why? What's your purpose, and why do you do what you do?
I have my why as a person, but our why as a business. I would say it's hard. I would say there's like three things, like three elements in one. I would say the first one would be creativity, because I love creating things. I come from a family that do things by hand. My older sister taught me how to crochet. Crochet hook, yeah, and my knit with the needle and all that. My mom taught me how to do sewing, hand sewing and machine sewing. My grandma taught me how to create yarn out of sheep wool. Wow. So I grew up with the family of making things out of nothing, like creating things from scratch, cooking, and a lot of things. So that helps me bring my creativity part to the session and control that part and help my clients that part. That's a big insight when we have to create sessions. So the creativity part is big. The second, I think, why for me in that blend would be helping preservation of moments. If I photograph a newborn, that won't be a newborn forever. So freezing time in that moment for my clients, that is big for me in creating records, either like a digital, they can have digital, but mostly something physical that they can frame, print, and carry for generations to come. And I think the third one for me would be connection. The connection that I can create with my photographs, especially in the branding industry. A photograph will connect with their audience. So for me, helping other people to connect with people, even in a dating app, you see the face, you're going to have a connection there. When you're going to hire somebody, go to a dentist, go to a lawyer, you see the photo and say, I kind of want to work with this person. So creating that connection for me, like a blend of those three things would be my big why. And definitely, on top of that would be being better to help my clients better, because absolutely nothing that I'm living today would be possible without my client support. I love them, since day one that I started. Besides the Rotary Club, my neighbors' friends, my friends' friends, they helped me when I just started, and I am so thankful. I'm thankful forever, and I'm loyal to those people that they with me, pushing me and helping me when I just started, for sure.
Awesome. Is there anything that you had on your I must say this list that we didn't cover? Anything that we missed that you want to get out there?
Yeah. Let's see. I love reading books. I love reading. So I would recommend one book. I just got that book on my the way to Europe. I had like a long trip to Europe, and I said, I need to bring my book. And I found this book called, probably you guys read it, I don't know, it's called The Four Arrangements by Miguel Ruiz. He's a Mexican author, and I think that book was written in the 90s. But it's so amazing. It summarized those four arrangements in four things. It's a small book, but very meaningful. So with that, and one of the arrangements that I really like is that don't take things personally. Because right now, everywhere, online, offline, people are very susceptible. Like, oh my gosh, they're attacking me. No, just don't take things personally. Because when you accept a criticism or offense, you're accepting that person to make you feel bad. Instead, just stay calm, try to think about it, and handle the situation differently. And also, in that same message, staying positive also helps a lot of things. And that's actually one of my strengths, going back there. Staying positive, even in business and everything, it's so important, because when you stay positive, you invite the good things. If you are thinking about a goal, you have to think like you already accomplished it. Even you have not, but I say you have to dream. You have to think, okay, I already accomplished what I was dreaming. And positivity is going to take you there. Positivity is going to help you call, when you want to accomplish something, you want to get something. When you call for things, staying positive. Even in the bad times, just get up, breathe, keep positive, and go back. If you fall, get up, stay positive, and keep going. So that's what I would say for sure.
Well, Karina, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
How would somebody find you and your business?
Yes, I'm everywhere. No, you can search me on Google, Karina Neill Photography. I'm on Facebook with the same name, Karina Neill Photography, Instagram too, LinkedIn too. And my studio is right in downtown Marion. Very close to the SIH hospital. That's where I'm located. That's where my studio is. And you're going to find me in the community. I'm always there volunteering, doing things. Or just come find me in the Rotary Club, Wednesday, 7:30 in the morning. I'll be there.
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, and thank you for joining us for this episode of Small Town Big Business. Thank you again to our sponsors, Arcadia Wealth Group, Black Diamond Harley Davidson and RV, Fowler Heating and Cooling, Swinford Media Group, the Watermark Auto Group Foundation, Banterra Bank, and also Southern Illinois Now. If you'd like to know more about EThOs, the Small Business Incubator, you can go to ethosmarion.org and find all about our classes and trainings that we offer, the co-working spaces, and also you can find this podcast on YouTube and the platforms just at ethosmarion.org.
And thank you so much for being with us. And we're so blessed to have Karina Neill Photography with us today. And we're blessed to have you as an audience. And so if you like what we're doing, please share this podcast with somebody. And if you really like us, please take a minute to give us a 5-star review so that other people can find us. And you can find me at City Hall, or you can find my contact information on LinkedIn.
Have a great day. Thank you.